G'day, guys. It's Monday evening at 7:30 or 19:30. We've got a few people in here. Say g'day when you get in there. We've got a few things to talk about tonight. We are a week earlier than what I was planning to do. I was going to do a live stream. You may recall if you were here last time, we were going to do a live stream once a month. But next week would have been the month, the 4 weeks. And next week in Victoria, I think it might be, it's not around Australia because it's the King's birthday, which is not his birthday, but we're having a day off anyway. Some people go away. So we don't want to be doing that right away here. We have have you missed anything? No, Ed, you've missed nothing. Yeah, that's the spirit. You keep on him. Tonight we've got Nas.
Hey, how are you?
Nas from Nas. He had Nas Time Adventures there.
Nas Time Adventures. Maybe I should put that up there. And
that's all right.
Not everyone knows me.
Not everyone knows you.
No.
I don't really know you that well. I've met you
a few times now.
Once or twice. Yeah, the 4-wheel drive show, I think. Yeah. Maybe the Caravan show or something one time, maybe. I don't know. I've seen you a couple of times anyways. What's the weather like in Melbourne, mate?
Ed's pranking me because every time he goes on a live feed, he forgets his phone on. He forgets to put it on silent, and I call him.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm smarter than you, Ed. I've already put the silent on.
How do I ban Ed from this? G'day, Jenny. Gay and Carol. How we doing, Gay and Carol? Now, you guys only here because Ed was here last week and then you join in. But
yeah,
come on, you go all the way back to Kiuna.
Yeah, we do.
So what's the weather in Melbourne, mate?
Nice and sunny today. It's getting a little bit fresh for me. I don't know if it's old age or it's getting colder because I reckon it's not going to be a cold winter this year. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty bloody cold this morning here, and was it day before yesterday we had a good frost as well. So it's cooling down. It's winter now.
Yeah.
It's the way it is, but it's pretty cloudy up here at the moment. We're in my other life with all the photography stuff. They're all chasing the aurora at the moment, and I can't see it because it's all cloudy. Yeah,
actually, someone shared some pics on Facebook this morning from Doncaster. I think I was asleep.
Yeah. I've got a friend up in. He's one of the admins on my other Facebook groups, and he's in Newcastle. And he got it up there, that high. So it was a big one. Yeah. Huge fan of Ed. Why? Oh, come on. He's all right. Good to see Gary.
That's Carol, by the way, because I don't know Gay's a big fan. I think Carol's more the fan.
Ah, gotcha.
I'm not sure who's talking about that one, but
we've got a lot of guys here. I had the same issue with Ed last week. I don't know most of these guys, but welcome anyways. Ed's like rattling off all their names. I'm like, how do you know these people?
Looks like a lot of my friends so far.
I was waiting for some of the photography people to come on in. They did last time. You said last time.
Mad Marks, Gay and Carol. Great channel. They haven't been putting out a lot lately. I don't know what's going on. Handcrafted by Terry G. Everyone knows Terry G, I think. MKM, another local mate of ours. It's like everybody's on YouTube at the moment, aren't they?
That's right. It's a good community.
Yeah,
it's a good community. I was going to introduce you as your scooter hoon.
Yeah, you saw that one.
I saw that one today.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on a scooter.
Yeah.
No, it's actually that just kind of worked out. I've been looking at a couple of different companies and stuff, and this guy was pretty keen. And when I was doing my research, scooters for camping, I was like, there's nothing on YouTube specific to camping. There's lots. I'm not going to try and enter the scooter market because there's lots there, but specifically scooters for camping. I thought, it seems to get a few views and there's not a lot of videos on it. And it's something that I'm genuinely interested in. Like I mentioned, I was looking for a bike, but it's not really practical on a scooter. The idea of a scooter is just chuck it on the back and, cover a bit more distance and stuff. And so we'll get to that one point.
Yeah. Yep. They're a lot smaller to carry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that you were saying that an electric bike won't go onto the regular bike mounts.
No,
It's too heavy.
and that's the deal breaker for me, because I thought, well, then I need. You can't just buy any bike rack. Like, I've already got a bike rack, but you need something. You're not going to lift it on the roof because it's 40 odd kilos.
Yeah, right.
And then I got to get another bike rack for the back. Wasn't that keen, and I was like, yeah, the idea. Now, some of these scooters do get pretty big, so you do struggle with them. But yeah, I'll find one that works for me. A little bit of speed and
Yeah.
off-road capabilities, and
all these things get better and better, don't they? It's just like every generation of them, like most things. But I think with electric scooters and electric push bikes, they kind of just came out of nowhere, and they're getting better and better and faster so quickly. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah.
I think what's for me, it's like there's so many gadgets. I love my gadgets. I love my toys. Anything that makes my camping experience a little bit more fun and easier. But you just end up with so much stuff. And I like to call myself a minimalist. Like, when I go camping, I don't like to take a lot of stuff. Now, I do have a lot of stuff, but a lot of that stuff's kind of built up over the years.
Yep.
And I've just got rid of the amount of stuff I've got rid of over the last few years. Extra chairs, extra tents, and everything. It's like, how much stuff am I really going to take camping? And if you see my camping videos now, like I did one recently where I just filmed a few campsites, camp setups around when I was up at Australia Day weekend up at the high country. And you look at everyone's camp setups, they're basic as. No one's pulling stuff out and setting stuff up. Everything's built into the car, and that's what I've tried to do as best as I can. Where my water tank, my fridge, everything's all set up in the car. I'll literally, grab a couple of tubs when I go out camping. I'm done, and I look at some people, even today, and guys have been camping for years, and it's like, I swear it would take them 5 hours to set up camp before they started. It's like, there's your whole trip gone.
Yeah. I do like your setup. I watched your when I was looking at I think I messaged you actually and asked you about something about the BT50 I was looking at. And I watched your video quite a few times, the way that you've set the back of it out. It's bloody neat. I reckon you've done a ripper job on it. It's so good.
I've got to do some update videos on that. I've got one. I want to do a review on my canopy again, go over the setup a little bit more detail, bring it all together, because I've got a couple of videos here and there. But, mate, there's always so much work to do. Like this, as a YouTuber, people don't realise how much effort goes into it. It's literally another job.
Yeah, it is. It is what you make of it, I guess.
Yeah.
It is what you make of it. That's one right there. G'day, Alex. Alex will he'll be on next time. Yeah, next month. Alex is coming
camping gear guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Watch that one. He presents quite well, actually.
He does. G'day, campers. That's what he says. G'day, campers.
Hey, Pete.
I'll have to. That's right. That's what you do.
I've locked that one in. That's mine.
Yeah, I don't really have one for this channel. On the other channel, when I started, I had a spiel down because I was the only one really who was dedicating everything to doing astrophotography with phones.
Yeah.
And I kind of owned that space on YouTube. That's why it grew so fast.
Yeah.
But I had a spiel down that I don't really do it bugger all now. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was I do 2 videos each and every week about small sensor photography in low light. So if you're in that sort of, that's what I used to say. And I would say bloody a lot.
Yeah.
So I swear a lot, And when I started doing YouTube, I was like, I've got to wind that back because that's not going to float, And I started saying bloody a lot. And you should have seen my first edits, man. I was like, oh, shit, I can't say that. Oh, shit, I can't say that. So it was bloody. It was bloody good. And I used to say, if you have subscribed, you're a legend. And then someone said in the comment one day, don't you mean bloody legend? And I went, that's it. So that whole community now is called Bloody Legends.
Bloody Legends.
Stickers and it's great. It's fantastic. And even like people will message me on Facebook, say, hey, I'm one of your bloody legends. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's cool. Community is cool on YouTube, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something
Lots
I
of
probably
people in
haven't
here.
done a lot of stuff on around, and some community building and that sort of stuff. I
Yep.
tend to just kind of put it out there, and yeah, it's just time to find, finding time for everything.
Yeah. Yep.
For me,
Yep.
that's my biggest challenge.
Well,
But
time is everything, man.
I've got to say, I do like, from the beginning, as soon as I watched came across your channel, you present really well. I know a couple of a couple of discussions we had, and you're like, oh, the amount of editing and reshoots, and like it takes you ages to get, and I can relate to that, because I mean sometimes I can just spin it off really quickly. Like I'll end up doing 5 takes and just using my first one.
Yeah.
But and I've got it kind of down pat. But I do know, I have noticed after you said that, I've noticed, I go, he presents really well. Like you've got a really good presence, and you
Sure.
talk really well on the camera.
Thanks.
Then I realised he's got a lot of cuts in there, so he's actually put this
Oh,
together.
yeah, it's not quite like that. It used to be like that, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, now you'll watch. If you watch, now that I'm telling you this, you'll go see it.
Yeah.
So when I script, sort of, I scripted almost word for word when I'm doing anything that's remotely controversial, because I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
And when you look at those, every single one of those cuts that are in those videos, just watch the background. And if the background changes, it's meant to be a different cut.
Yeah.
But if the background's the same, no, I fucked up. That's the way it is. Yeah. And it's the other stuff is I'll do when I script, I'll do like 2 or 3 sentences, and the next one or the one after will be only like a 4-word or 5 words. So it's not all the same all the time, because that gets boring as shit to watch. Even I don't like to watch it.
I can't script. I can't, and it's probably obvious in my videos that I just kind of wing it. And as much as I prepare, it just ruins my whole video. I can't, like, you come up and you come across quite naturally, whereas if I scripted it, it'd be like I'm reading it. It's just too obvious and stuff. So I want it to be a little bit more natural. And it's trying to find that good balance, because I just, even like I've done a lot of speeches and presentations for work, and weddings and that sort of stuff. I actually emceed for the first time an event a couple of weeks back, and I tried to kind of sit there and go on, getting, what am I going to say, what I'm going to do, get some phrases, and it's like nothing I say or prepare comes out the way I wanted it. So I'm better off just leaving it and just go, you know what? I'll find it on the night.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's when I'm doing on more so on the other channel, because I know it fairly well, like the Astro stuff with the phones, and I can almost just go out there with a rough idea in my head and just make a video. This here, the audience is very, very different. The audience there is a sponge. They want to know everything. And it's I don't know how many. I've had millions and millions of views on that channel, and hundreds of thousands of comments, and I could count on one hand the negative comments. Very rare. This channel and this community, this genre, no.
See, you do a lot of controversial, like you're saying, you do a lot of controversial stuff, like that whole machete. Don't get me started on that, right? But that's just ridiculous. Like, one guy goes nuts, and we're going to, it's a tool, mate. Like, it's like, what's next? Spanners, because someone threw a spanner at somebody.
Yeah. Yep. I'm hearing you.
Yep.
G'day, Mark. I probably we should acknowledge people. Mark
Hopkins. He's a good friend of ours, part of the Legends crew. He joined us up at the Gumbara event up at Legends. That's where I met him. So I came for a few days.
Very good.
Jane Carroll came up. Ed was with me, of course. Some really good people that I've met through my YouTube channel.
That's awesome, man.
It's been really good, including yourself, of course.
Thanks, mate. Mark, after Ed was here last time, we had a vote, and he's not allowed back. He's not allowed back in our hometown.
Is that because of my contribution? I kind of threw him off, or
when Ed was camping up in Gunbow.
oh, okay,
That's my home. It's like,
yeah,
and
okay.
when he was here last time, the whole town had a vote, and he's not allowed to come back.
Oh, okay. So camping, not your live streams.
Correct. Yeah, he sent me a message one time asking me for one of my spots that I go to, and he did a video from that spot. I haven't been out there to clean up your mess yet. I've got to get out there.
Yeah. It's solo trips where he's usually got a couple of mates behind him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does all these solo trips. And it's like, I know that person.
Oh, right.
They're
Yeah,
just
right.
talking to me. He's kind of like, they're in the campground, in the background camping. It's like, yeah, but I know them, Ed, so do you.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Ed.
That's not solo camping, Ed.
Yeah, but solo camping videos do better.
Oh, g'day, Trev. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that, Trev. Yeah.
Yeah. Trevor, mate from Autofix and Dirt Road 4x4, another YouTube channel. And I was one of Trevor's first customers. I've met with him a couple of times. I know you know Trev as well.
Yeah.
So I was basically his first customer, and then I just helped him out at a few shows. And yeah, kind of mateship's been for about maybe 4 or 5 years now. But yeah, we've become good friends, and he's put me onto a few other companies that I've worked with. Like, I do a bit of work with Max Liner, and I don't want to drop names or whatever, but Clearview and that sort of stuff. And I haven't been paid by any of these companies, so I just want to put that out there. But part of my strategy has always been to help other businesses grow and develop and that sort of stuff. And I just do videos. Like I've got a heap of videos for 23.0, and you'd be sure that I have received money from them given the amount of videos, but their videos have been good.
Those people need to send you like every bit of kit that they've got. You do so much for them. It's nuts how much you do for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I ran into him a few weeks ago, and I won't mention any names, but he's paid a couple of people to do YouTubers and stuff, and he goes, mate, I'll give them money, and they bag the hell out of me, and he goes, you've made nothing, and you've done nothing but right thing by us, and it's like, well, it's not. I'm not.
Well, baby,
going out of my way to do the right thing. I just like the product, and I'm not one bagging products. Like for me, if I don't like it, I won't do a video on it. Simple.
Same.
As that.
Same for me. But this over here, so that shelf over here. So on the other channel, I've got all these hats here. That's all hats up there. I'm trying to work out the way this way. There we go. It's all reversed in my camera.
Yeah.
And underneath that, and all the stuff that's on top over there, that's all stuff I've got to review at the moment. And all the stuff that's under here is all the stuff I have reviewed. And all the stuff that's down here is all the stuff that I just refused because it's shit.
Yeah.
So they get sent, and then I go, this is no good. I'm not doing a video for this.
Yeah.
And only once I've had a... What's that?
Sorry. I was going to say, you did a great job on the... I love Signature camper trailers. I've always been a fan of them. I think they're overall pretty good quality. Now, you highlighted a couple of, issues which I think were a deal breaker for me.
No, they're not deal breakers at all, mate. But I don't think there is a single manufacturer out there that hasn't had an issue of some sort.
No.
The thing that got me with the Signature is those cracks at the front is absolutely a known issue.
Yeah.
And they wanted to charge to fix it. That's what I didn't like. But the cage upside down shit, you can deal with that. I was more surprised that it was like that. The trailer's great. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's a great box. I like it.
Yeah. And that's it. I think you presented it really well. Like, you're honest about it. I think you did a really good job. But it's getting to one of those. It's getting at one of those points where it's getting a little bit. And we know about. Was it all off road and the battery and all the drama with Stefan and the battery and all that sort of stuff. The drama that's gone there, and it's put a bit of fear into people, and it's like, you know what, you've got to be really careful what you say and do, and there's always someone out there that's going to fight back. But at the end of the day, we're on here just sharing our views. No one's paying us not to. No one's paying us to do it. So
from everything that I can see that Stefan ran into, I honestly don't think he did anything wrong there.
No.
But and I've seen other videos with some people going, no, he did the wrong thing. But I just can't. I can't see anything that he did wrong there. I think it's totally fine. And
the reality is, the reality is he enjoyed. He was having no problems with the battery for a year or two, or whatever, and he was, presenting it as best as he could. And then he had a known issue. You can't then, like, if I'd used it and found the problem, I just never would have done a video. I just ring him up and say, mate, grab your battery back. That's it,
Yep.
But the fact that he'd already gone out there and promoted them and, encouraged them, and it's like, well, he had to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he was honest when he put it in there, and he was honest when he took it out. I don't know. I every time I watched it going the whole time, and we were dealing with some of our own stuff away from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was watching what was going on with him, and I thought, I feel for you, man. You're going through some shit here. But at the same time, he's done nothing.
Yeah.
But it's just the way the system works. It's unfortunately he's got to jump through those hoops.
Yeah.
Yes. Anywho, how's your trailer going anyway?
Sorry?
How's your trailer going? You're building one?
Mate, I've got so many projects going on at the moment. My trailer's kind of one of my key ones, but I'm really excited about where it's going. Like, I've got the frame put on now. I did post a couple of pics on Instagram. So for those that aren't familiar, I basically had a soft floor camper, the Mars soft floor camper, Mars Titan. I took the soft floor the tent off it, and I converted it to a rooftop tent camper. That's been a great setup. Absolutely loved it. Heaps of storage on it. That's the biggest thing for me, because a lot of these campers don't have a lot of storage. I think a few months ago I was on a trip. I'm at the age now where it's getting harder to get through the night without getting up and taking it, going to the toilet. And it was hammering down with rain. I get up, trying to race out of the rooftop tent in the rain, nearly came down the steps, and I was like, nah. I need something easier. That's when Ed actually rocked up with his pod trailer, and I thought, mate, as much as I love his trailer, there's, number one, you need 25, 30 grand, which I just don't have the budget for. Number two, it doesn't have a lot of storage on it. And I was like, you know what? I've got a trailer with really good storage on it.
Yep.
Just going to convert it myself. So that's what we're on to now. So I'll get I've got the frame put on. The frame cost me double what I expected. Well, I was thinking about, because my previous frame cost me about $700, and this is a little bit more involved. I thought it's going to go $1,500, $2,000 tops. It's like $3,500. Steel's just gone up through the roof.
Yeah.
And a bit of labor and stuff. A good friend of mine did it. And he looked after me on price and stuff. But yeah, I still reckon I can get the whole thing done well under 10K.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, but
I watched sorry.
Yeah, it'll be a great camper. Like, it's seriously
awesome.
I'm excited about it.
Yep. I watched a live stream of Buckaroonies a week or two ago, and they were talking about rooftop tents, and he basically said, what was it? He got a bottle or something to take a leak in and get rid of it in the morning, so you'd have to get out of the tent in the middle of the night.
Nah.
That's what you need to do, right?
Nah.
Do you use induction? Anyone in the chat right now that uses induction, throw your suggestions there, because I have no idea. I don't have one. I don't know. Any ideas?
No idea. I think a lot of people getting cheap induction. I think who was it? Anaconda had one for under $100. And I've seen a few people with that. I haven't heard a lot of reviews and stuff on it, but it seems to be doing all right. But I think it's still kind of fairly new. So,
thanks, mate. Love the controversy. That's it.
Yeah.
NAS is a business charity. That's a 23-0. 23-0 is what that is.
Oh,
like
yeah,
even,
yeah. I have a business charity. Yeah,
even what you just said, like that you met with someone at 23Zero, you do all these videos for them for free, and they're very favourable videos. They paid a couple of people, they gave them negative reviews. Why did they just pay you?
yeah, yeah.
And,
Well,
and it's something that I saw in a video today. Someone in the photography space, someone did a video about a camera I was looking at, and I was reading the comments on this video, and he presented really, really well. And when I started watching, I thought, man, this guy's got a couple of 100,000 subs. I looked at it; it's like 40,000, and I sent him a message saying, I don't know how you've only got 40,000. Like you're on fire, mate. You're doing great.
yeah,
And one of the comments, because it was a sponsored video about the Pocket 3, and
yeah,
someone said, "Oh, how are we supposed to trust you when you're doing this, getting paid?" You trust him because you trust him.
yeah,
Like if people don't trust you by now doing
yeah,
what you do, and if they pay you, who cares? It
yeah.
still should not be an issue of trust.
No, no. And that's and it is the hard one because I think I'm getting to the stage now where I'm having, some conversations with, dealers and stuff, and they're asking a little bit, well, they're asking, for more. I don't really want to go down the path where I'm getting paid. That, that for me is a little bit uncomfortable. I don't, I don't want to get paid. I don't want to have to feel. I don't want to feel like I'm making ads. You
Well,
know
you
what I mean?
don't.
Like
You do
if I'm
exactly
going
what you're
in,
doing now.
yeah, yeah. But the minute you start taking money off them, it just changes the whole. It does change the whole dynamic, and
Changes
man, that's
nothing.
what I feel like. I want to be honest and open.
There's no
Um,
reason you can't be that while you're being paid.
Yeah, yeah, and
Just
that's
because
just
they're
comes down to the discussions and arrangement that I have, with each company.
100%. Yep.
It's like, you know who I am. Don't ask me to do anything different. Don't ask me to change, what I'm doing. If you like
Yep.
what I'm doing and it's favourable, then
Yep.
if I do find a problem, like I don't love everything that I've had. Like there are
Yep.
issues with it, but they're generally minor issues. Like be honest, if I have got any major issues, I just got rid of it. Not going to waste my time
Yeah.
on a video.
Yeah. If you've got a good enough relationship with 23Zero, someone key in there, there's absolutely no reason in my mind that you can't do. It doesn't have to get paid financially, but they can give you gear.
Yeah.
But like I said, all that stuff that's sitting over there, most of that has been sent to me for nicks. Some
Yeah.
of it they pay for me to talk about it as well.
Yeah.
And when I get it and it's a piece of shit, I don't do it still. But there's
Yeah.
in all the I haven't had a contract on this channel, but on the other channel, I get contracts all the time to do for videos, and they talk about the content, the sort of thing that they want, and they want to have a draft for approval and all this sort of business. But when I get it, if it's a piece of shit, I just send it all back. I say it's
Yeah.
here, and I've actually done that on this channel, and I've watched other people review the same bit of kit, and I go, mine was a piece of shit, and
Yeah.
it got sent back. But anyway, we move on. I've done a video
Yeah.
about this, I think.
Yeah.
Can't see yourself getting for. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of power you got to bring in it. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. I've got I use the fire as often as I can. Like I probably do 80% of my cooking on the fire.
Yeah.
Might be just a quick breakfast, couple of eggs and whatever. And induction would be good, but yeah, I just don't know if I'm ready yet.
Yeah, sure. But I think on different videos that I've seen in Western Australia, they've got like fire bans for 6 months of the year or some bloody thing. So I'm surprised Alex doesn't use it. Because I'm pretty sure he's in Perth.
Yeah, well, there he goes. He's
Western
saying that 9 kilo bottle holds about nearly 10,000 amp hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I've got a camper trailer. Like it holds the gas bottle. It's not in my way. It's not bothering me. It's easy to take. When I haven't got the camper trailer, I usually just take smaller canisters and stuff, but
Yeah.
it does me fine.
Oh, we all have bands. Like we get bands here as well. But I remember seeing something on, maybe it was Harry Fisher's video or something, where he was saying that they've got fire bans now for 6 months of the year. We have fire bans here, but it's even in peak fire season, you can't have a fire which is only like a month and a bit, maybe 2 months. It's not very long.
Yeah.
And then there's fire restrictions, which you can still go bush and have a fire, and as long as the wind doesn't get above like 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers an hour, something like that, and then you can have fire still. So we're only restricted a little bit for fires here. I shouldn't have said that too loud because someone in Melbourne just heard me and they're going, "Hold on, we got to fix that."
Yeah.
Rooftop tent experience in a chicken.
It only wants to hear this story because it involves him. So this was, and I talk about it in one of my videos, but this was my first King's rooftop tent. Essentially what had happened, long story short, is the sill along the front got, obviously it got water in it, the sill along the front of it while you're driving along through the rain, water got into it. I got it home, I opened it up, I dried it. What I obviously didn't realise was the mattress was wet. Right, so I felt the material and everything, it was all fine, but the mattress is obviously still a little bit wet. I've closed it up. 2 months later, I've gone to Chuka, opened it up, and mate, it was horrible. It was like,
no,
scraping off, like it was just. And I was like, bugger, what am I going to do now? Lucky I had a spare hammock in the car, and I slept on that for the weekend.
Didn't Ed let you sleep in his trailer with him?
No.
Jeez.
No, he actually had the rooftop tent then too.
Okay.
And that's the weekend I got bogged in a puddle.
Maybe it's just Ed, because I got bogged in the sand when I was with Ed.
I tried to squeeze between two trees, and then I realised I had to do a bit of a turn, and I basically, again, it's in the video, but I basically got jackknifed between two trees.
I have seen this. Yeah.
So we had to kind of pull the trailer back and straighten the trailer up so I could get out.
Yeah.
It was a stinky puddle.
Right.
It seems to think I get stuck all the time, but I've only ever gotten stuck when I've been out with him. So,
Yeah.
Make it out what you want.
Sheep will be sheep. I'm with you. It's a lot of money worth of batteries for that for running that, but I don't know if you need that much. I don't know. Oh, okay. November till 1st of May. That's a long time. You can't even use solid fuel barbecue in your. Oh, wow.
No. I love my solid fuel barbecue.
Anywho. We went to the Bendigo Caravan show on the weekend.
Yeah, Ed was up there actually. Didn't hear about
it. Yeah. So I messaged Ed to say, hey, I think I rang him and said, are you going to this show? And he said, it's in Bendigo, maybe. I said, I'm going to go on Friday anyway, and I'm working. No worries. And then Sarah said, I'll come, but I'll only go on the Saturday. So I'm like, right, we'll go on Saturday. And then Ed messages me on Friday to tell me he's at the freaking show. So you bastard.
Where are you?
I was going the next day because you weren't going, Ed.
Apparently he likes the Motop, new Motop pod trailer. I was like, mate, stay
really?
Away. Yeah.
I don't like it. I looked at it. I took some video of it, and I wasn't impressed.
I'm not a fan of the company in general, and I don't want to sit there, being critical and stuff. But I want to say, if you're going to buy budget, mate, just get Kings. They're better customer service.
Yeah,
same quality.
Yeah. Well, the one that was there, there was a few things that I took away from that trip there, the trip from the visit to this caravan show. And I don't know how many caravans there are. There were a few hundred, maybe. I don't know. I'm useless at trying to guess that sort of thing. But after about 20 vans that we looked at, when I say we looked at, like walked past or looked in some, and I'm blown away by some of the shit that's in these caravans. It's amazing. I don't know if I don't normally look in caravans. It's amazing some of the stuff that's in there. It's like a freaking house. Like you walk into some of them and you can turn left or right. It's huge.
And I've seen some really good, like I don't like the big setups, but some really good 15-foot fans with everything in it.
Yeah. Like it's crazy what's out there now.
These days.
But when I learnt that some companies will spend an awful lot of money, like charge you an awful lot of money, and put this piss ass jockey wheel on the front.
Yeah.
That just does my head in. When you move that trailer around, that jockey wheel is just so freaking important, and you put this cheap ass Chinese thing on the front. And as Sarah said, after you look at about 30, they're all pretty much the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then what you end up seeing are the things that you don't like, because most of them just are the same.
Yeah.
But what really surprised me was Jayco. I know nothing about caravans. Like, this is just a bloke who's, you know my setup.
Yeah.
And I go in and I look at some of these vans and I go, this is freaking amazing. It's like a luxury hotel in some of them,
Yeah.
Then you go and hop in the Jayco ones, and they've got a good brand. They must be good because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But everything about them looks like it's just made in someone's garage. Like, it's all flat 90-degree turns everywhere in it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's the same thing that it was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know, but maybe they weren't the same. I don't know. But you look at other ones and they're all like molded and everything. It's obviously one's made here, one's made in China. I get that. But I was just blown away by that's like one of the peak brands in Australia. That you see that everywhere.
Yeah.
But it was just all so flat and square and boxy sort of thing. And all of them. Yeah. I don't know.
Jayco.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I've had the Jaycos before. And look, again, and I don't like to knock stuff, but at the end of the day, there's a market for everybody. People bag the hell out of Kings. And I was like, you know what? Kings got me into camping. It made it accessible for me back then, where I just needed, I want to go out camping and need to spend a heap of gear and four-drive gear and all that sort of stuff. And it made it possible for me. And now over time, I've been able to, upgrade stuff. So, I'm not going to knock them. There's a market for everybody. But I remember, like, I looked at the Jaycos a couple of years back. I went into one of the vans in the, Caravan show, and I was like, it actually looks really, quite nice. I'm impressed with it. I opened one of the cupboard doors and I could see daylight. And I was like, why is there so much light here? And it's like...
It's how they like the cupboards, mate. Skylights inside the cupboards. No?
I was like, you do not want to take this out in a dusty road.
Oh,
Odds are I'm going to be out in a dusty road. So, look, if that's what you can afford, they're good vans. They give you good support in that. Generally,
they weren't cheap though. It's not like you compare. Like, I look at Kings and go, Kings is a brand like exactly what you just said. It helps people get into doing camping and getting out. Jayco's not cheap. It's bloody expensive what they got there.
Yeah,
it's crazy expensive how some of these vans, and I go, holy shit, this thing's $48,000, and the one just down there is $32,000, and it looks better and it's got more shit in it than what this one does.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never seen Jayco as like a cheap brand. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe I've totally read that wrong, but I just haven't.
So they're a mass-produced, mass-produced setup locally. So it's when something's mass-produced like that, there's always going to be some issues. I mean, look, from my understanding, they're pretty good at supporting you in after-sales service and that. But at the end of the day, when you make that many like that, but then my mate was working at a Campbellfield in Victoria, has a lot of the caravan units there, and he was working at, I won't mention names, but he was working at one mob, and he goes, and honestly, and this is going to come across a bit rude, but he's like, people are so anti, getting, Chinese-made campers. He goes, have you ever seen a manufacturing site in Australia? Like, they're all, it's the same people making it here than there. Did you say it there? He goes, at the end of the day, he goes, and he goes, they're getting the materials from the same place. They've got the same labor. They've got the same. It's like, don't assume it's Chinese and it's crap. In other words, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He will get frustrated. He goes, because these are campers that they bring all the materials in and they make them here, but he goes, he was just getting frustrated because he's quite, he likes attention to detail, And he goes, just the things that they were getting away with on these campers. He goes, it was just ridiculous. He goes, I got frustrated
yeah,
and I
okay.
walked out. And this
Yeah,
was a company with a good reputation.
yeah, right.
So, you know, it's such a hard thing to go out and find a good company that makes a good, solid van that is going to continue to support that. That's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Like I said before, we were talking about Mike trailer. That's a Chinese trailer,
yeah,
and like a lot of them, they're made over there. They come here and they're either ripped all the electrics out and put new stuff in, or they've done the fit out here, or whatever it is. But I don't think any manufacturer is like flawless. Like everyone has
yeah.
an
No,
issue at some point, and obviously
no.
Matt's got a 20-foot van that he obviously rates it.
Yeah,
This was just my personal experience going, this feels luxe. And then you go into the next one, you go, this feels like it's not worth nearly as much as what that is worth, but
yeah,
yet the price tag is more. That's what I was getting at.
yeah.
Haters will always. I'm not hating, dude. If that's what you mean, they just changed the breasting. Yeah, maybe, maybe.
I like signature trailers. I like them as a company. I
Yeah,
like the company behind it. Just just what they believe in. Like I think at the end of the day, they're trying to they're striving to make a good product.
yeah. How do you put
And
the like this? Watching like
there's a button for it.
that. There's a few articles Chinese made impacting manufacturers in Victoria. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I expect that sort of thing too.
Yeah,
Mind you, I'll start into one of my regular hate the Victorian government video here and tell you how much how much the land tax is costing businesses in Victoria.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a couple of wages for some people.
yeah. And
Um,
that's talking about Lotus. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about Lotus. I have also had people comment negatively on it who have owned them. Um,
mhm.
a lot less, but there's always the odd one that comes across. So,
Yeah.
you could put 100 through the line and 90 of them are fantastic, but there's always going to
Hmm.
be a few that have got little
Yeah.
problems. And
Yep.
unfortunately, someone just happens to get all the problems and is very
Yeah.
vocal about it. And I'm not saying
Okay.
Lotus are not good, but I've always said, like rooftop tents. I started with the Kings because that's basically what I could afford. Well, the truth is, I was actually looking at a 23-0, but it didn't come out in time. So I ended up going to Kings, and it was fun. And they upgraded it with no problems when I had the mold turned up in it. And to be honest, I thought it was my fault. And they rocked up and said, "Oh no, that's come in, and they've told me what's happened. You didn't dry out your mattress." I said, "Well, that's
Yep.
technically my fault." And they said, "Well, no, because the problem happened." And they fixed it, like good on them.
Yeah. Right.
And I ended up
Mm.
going to 23-0. But like I've got mates with, like I love Bush Company as a brand. They make good
Yep.
quality products. But like I've got a mate of mine who's got the rooftop tent. Now, every time I went away with him, the awning on the front would be flapping every morning.
Really?
Like, why is that constant? So there's always little things. I mean, he got
Yeah. Right.
condensation. It's often it comes down to how you're treating it. I never got condensation in any of my rooftop tents, but I sleep with the windows open. Like so, I
That's why you're
always
so bloody cold, mate.
well, yeah, but you've got to have ventilation. If you close everything up, you're going to sweat.
Of course you are.
So,
You're going to
you
breathe,
open
and the
it up,
breathing's
you
going
get
to
some
condense.
warmer bedding.
Yeah. When both of us go out in the rooftop tent in winter, it's like a waterfall inside. When
Yeah,
I'm on my own, it's no big deal. When both of us are up there, pardon me, it gets pretty wet in there. And then you've got to crack the windows at the top. It's got the Sabre that I have, it's got like a little vent at the roof sort of thing.
yeah.
It does. I think it does fine. Ha ha knob. Oh, that's from because I was doing this shit, I think. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with off-track 4x4. Don't
Yeah,
know if
he's I can't think of his bloody name. I'm useless with names. That's why I
yeah,
asked
I'm
Nas to name
shocker.
at the bottom there. He just I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. The logo looks right. I'm almost certain it's the same guy. I've spoken to him on Instagram let me know if that's the case, dude, because I might be thinking about the wrong person.
Fred. What's Fred?
But if it's the guy I'm thinking of, he's just off.
Dylan.
Yeah, it is the same guy. They were up at the Cape or something recently. He just did a video about it. Did not have fun. Did not have fun at all. GBM in Australia. Yeah, true. Yeah. Brudder or Bruder? How do you say that?
Bruder. But Bruder, oh mate, they are the tanks of the industry. Like they are absolutely, they're German built, I think. They're absolutely fantastic.
You're buying a Panzer.
But you're talking 100K for a pod trailer. But you can jump on it.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You can do whatever you want to it. The thing's built like a tank.
I'm just having a look.
So I really like their
pod trailer. Yeah.
And they've got all that suspension that goes here and there.
Yeah. I've seen that. But then you've got to like sell everything to afford one.
Yeah.
Like they are amazing machines. I've seen a few videos. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen a few videos with that, and they look just amazing. Yeah. And then I was like, that's cool. How much are they? Oh my God. I better like click off that before Sarah walks in and thinks I'm looking at something.
Yeah. And it's not that like I would like to spend $100,000 on a pod trailer. I just can't justify $100,000 on a pod trailer. You know, it's for something.
I don't think anyone can, mate.
My missus is not interested in camping anymore. She's past it. So it's hard to get it past her, of course, because it's all about me.
Yep. Now I'm with you, dude. Yeah, right. Lawsuit. Agree about justifying the Lotus price.
Yep. $300,000 off track saying for the Brooder, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're Australian, apparently.
Australian.
300.
I thought they were German.
Doesn't matter.
A 4-year wait in a Caravan. Oh, mate, if I had the money, I would buy that, but I'd have to have a lot of spare cash. Like I'm not throwing my last $200,000 into it.
Why on earth would you wait 4 years? Like, think about what we were just saying about like push bikes and stuff, like those electric bikes, and how quickly that has all changed. Like, what is going to change in the next 4 years? Yeah. Like, you're building something and then you get it 4 years later, you've got 4-year-old technology.
But that 175, guarantee you, I mean, I'm assuming that in 4 years they've probably, upgraded the models by then, so you'll get whatever's the latest. But then that'll be worth, $200,000-$300,000. And it's like a car. When I bought my BT50, and I was actually smart in that I said to the guy, I want to fix the price. He goes, oh, yeah, it won't change. I was like, yeah, no, I want it written into the contract. He goes, yeah, no, it's fine. You sent me the contract. I said, you forgot to take this out. And he goes, yeah, no, he crossed it out, resent it. 3 months later, when I picked up the car, he goes, oh, you got to pay an extra $5,000. I said, no, I don't. Have a look at my contract. That's what I do a lot of car dealers. My brother ended up, I think, 10, 20 grand he had to pay. He got a Land Rover. By the time he picked it up 8, 9 months later, it'd gone up 20 grand.
Wow. When did you get yours?
I've had my B23. I got mine. So I've had it a couple of years now.
Yep. Cool. The whole set apart from the battery monitor is all King stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got all. Yeah. My son's starting to get into camping, and I said to him, buy Kings, buy Sanhema, and buy Ocam, because I reckon they all come from the same bloody place and put different stickers on it.
Yeah.
But I also said my gut feeling is to stay away from the electronic stuff. There's the boys. Insane. I've got King's batteries, and they're fine. I've never had a problem with them. I've watched.
Lucky Hubs did the review on those, and I called him the mad scientist. He rates them pretty well, and I trust his judgment. They're pretty good, but at the end of the day, there's certain things like, I mean, Ed's going to argue this because I go like, I wouldn't buy a King's winch, but I'm out on my own a lot. I'm to be honest, I don't think I've ever really used the winch on my own, but it's there as a safety measure.
Mm.
I want to know it's going to work when I need it, right? But Ed's going to say, yeah, but I've saved your butt twice with my King's winch. So, he's had it for years and it still works fine and it does the job. So,
yeah. There's a group on Facebook. It's like the Adventure King Hacks or something like that. And on that Facebook page there, the most common things that I see people having issues with is electronic stuff.
Yeah.
People with tents, people with awnings, all that sort of stuff. No, that very rarely comes up as an issue. It's all the electronic stuff. And when you look at like exactly what you did with the tent, rooftop tent, and they're like $1,000 or more cheaper than other brands.
Yeah.
And if it bloody well works and their warranty support is good, if it doesn't work, why wouldn't you?
No.
I don't see an issue.
It comes down to, for me, I always say double the price, so you're getting double the value. You know what I mean? Is it a better tent? Now, I spent, like 23.0 is almost double the price of the Kings. Now, that was worth it to me for peace of mind. I know there's, quality there, that sort of stuff. Would I spend 8-9 grand on a rooftop tent? No, because $4,000's a lot of money for a tent. 20 years ago, there's no way we would have spent that much. And now we kind of tend to, but am I going to get that much more value for my money at a $9 grand? It's like, you got Darchi 23.0. There's I call them the mid-range kind of brands. Good quality. They keep the rain off your head, and they do their job, and they're reliable. I'm not going to spend double that money. Like, to me, it's just not justified.
No, I agree. Gazebos are left on the beach after wind.
Yeah, that's any brand.
I was actually tempted to do a video about something similar like this. I'm just trying to work out the angle that I need to take on it, and the hardest thing for me would be to get the footage, because I see so in fashion you got this what's it called, fast fashion or something. There's these two brands that happened. Sarah goes nuts for it. When I say nuts, I mean she's so anti of it. And I get why, because a lot of this shit just ends up in landfill. And you've got, you know what I'm talking about, like Temu or
Temu.
Yeah. So Temu is one of them. There's another one it's like SH something. And in China, there's these factories that just pump out so many articles of clothing. So like you've got a jacket, a hoodie, and a t-shirt. So someone's out there getting paid like below minimum, like poverty wage, punching out all these camo t-shirts. And then all these influencers around the world, they go, I'm doing my Temu haul today, and they get like 80 articles of clothing, try it on for a video, then it gets returned. Yeah. This is a big thing. And they're just they're poor quality. So then all this stuff goes back, and where does it go? It all goes to landfill. They don't reuse it or resell it. It all goes into the ground, and there's like a big like pollutant type problem with all this shit that's going back into landfill. And I've come across a few different things out in the bush, like cheap products that are just not worked, like broken camp chairs, broken gazebos, that sort of thing. And I think there's something like that there, like the cheap mass-produced stuff. Like at some point you've got to have a discussion with yourself, like you were just saying, is it worth going to that price and not leaving that shit out in the bush because it's broken? You know what I mean? There's an angle there somewhere. I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah. And it's just fine. And that comes down to personal, circumstances at the end of the day. Like, I mean, we both work. We're not, I'm not a wealthy person by any means, but I can afford certain
I've got you in my phone as Rich Nas.
Oh. Sorry?
I've got you in my phone as Rich Nas.
Yeah. I look, people assume because I'm good looking I've got it all, but money's not something that I do have. Just the look, sorry. I would say people assume because I'm good looking I'm not smart, but I'm not.
I'm waiting for Ed to crack on. I'm sure he would have said something about this by now. Hey, it's a lot of money. A lot of money. Tell us about Legends for Charity, like the whole reason that you came on.
Yeah, what have we spoken about all this time? Legends for Charity. So thank you for bringing that one up, because I did tell Len to talk about it last week, but he was too shy, or the last live feed. But essentially, this is a charity event that was started quite a few years ago now. Buck was one of the early instigators, and he worked with a couple of other people, creating these just meetups for, bringing the community, his community together. And then over time, it kind of developed into a charity. And traditionally, they've just picked two local charities from the area. And so they had a few around Mackay area. I think they had 2 or 3 up there. And then last one was at Goombara last year. And that was the Wanderer, Australian Off-Road Adventures, and sorry, Steve Fuller. A mental blank on his. Someone will tell me what his channel is. I just got a mental blank, and they created, that was their biggest and best event, I reckon. That was the first one that I went to, and they had about 200 odd people there, and they actually handed it over to Ed from Ed's Full Driving Camping. But on the side, they came to me and they said, "Look, we're giving it to Ed, but we know you'll end up doing all the work, so thank you very much." Is there a damper competition? Well, we're still debating that. If you leave it to Ed, there will be a damper competition, but I'm not keen on it. But that's still up for discussion. So they had a damper competition. So it was basically just a whole lot of activities over the weekend. It's basically just a big camp, meet up for campers. A lot of caravans, a lot of, probably more caravans than tents. But we had a lot of tent setups and camper trailer setups and everything. 200 people came together and they raised over 30K. And that energy, I was just really excited the whole weekend. They ran it so well. The energy of the event was absolutely fantastic. Everybody had massive smiles on their face by the end of it. They raised about 30 odd K for small charities. And that's, I think, the big one for us is we've picked a couple of smaller charities. We don't want to raise, give 10 grand to, Joe Blow, that big, massive charity that gets 5 million a year. And here we are with 10 grand. The money goes to smaller charities that really appreciate and get value out of it. And there's kids and say, yes, there is. And just a whole heap of activities will come together. We're going to Mansfield this year, so it's a Victorian event. We're definitely got a few Queenslanders interested, so we'll get a whole heap of people from up there. Hopefully we can build it up and across Victoria as well. I know you're coming, and we'll definitely, we need to do a bit more promotion and get the word out there again. I don't think enough people know about it. So I said with Ed, we're going to start hitting some four-wheel drive clubs, and big one for us too is we want to get a heap of YouTubers on board. So we're got to call out for supporters, for sponsors basically. But we've got a deal going for YouTubers. We basically said $150. It's a donation. Everything goes to charity. Me and Ed, we don't make anything in this. It'll end up costing us a lot more than you think. Which is fine. That's our contribution in labour, and a lot of money get thrown at it as well to make sure it all works. But the YouTubers for me at this stage is like a big part of it, because we want the YouTubers to get on board, and for $150 basically we'll promote your channel, and we expect you to make a couple of videos promoting the event and put it on your socials and that sort of stuff to get the word out. The more people we get there, the merrier, it's going to be. It's just going to be a really fun event. So we've got Mansfield Lakeside Holiday Park. Mansfield's a beautiful town if you haven't been in that area. It's in the foot of the high country, so there's fantastic drives around there. We have booked in, just yesterday, booked in a balloon rides on the day. We're hoping to get a helicopter out there as well. We'll probably get some fishing club down there to entertain the kids on the lake with some fishing and that sort of stuff. We hope to get some music and band, and we'll probably do a full drive show and shine. And there's just so many things. We're still kind of at the early stages of it, but there's going to be a heap of activities. We'll open it to day trippers as well. to try and get as many people down there. But it's just a huge fun event.
Yep.
And you just walk away with a big smile on your face because you've had a lot of fun and you've done good for the community. You've been able to give something back. And for us, it's just, we've given up a couple of years of our time organising all this and making it all happen. And hopefully at the end we'll get to pass the baton on to maybe someone like yourself, Shane, or we'll find someone. There's plenty there, but we're hoping that we can kind of build this into something, bigger than all of us and move it around from state to state.
So I've seen the flyers and stuff because it was on, I think maybe the YouTube, like the Adventures YouTube channel or Facebook page, I should say. But for Joe Schmo who just turns up and wants to camp, what does he do?
So I mean, look, it's open to absolutely everybody. It's a very family friendly event, and we've made sure it's a dog friendly event too. A lot of the people that have been involved from the beginning have been, pretty big on the dog owner, dogs with them for camping and stuff. So we made sure it's friendly for everybody. Essentially, just book your site. The dates are there, March 27, 28, 29. It's Friday to Sunday, but we'll be actually staying till Monday because there's a big party. We end up having a celebration party on Sunday night. So we encourage people to stay the extra night. But essentially just rock up, book your site. It's going to be a big crowd of like-minded people and just come and have some fun. That's essentially all we're asking for anyone. Obviously, bring your wallets and we'll be asking you to open them up at certain stages. We'll have a lot of raffle prizes and, that sort of stuff. So the job for me and Ed over the next few months is, getting sponsorship, getting some raffle prizes, that sort of stuff. But it's basically just a camp. I call it Australia's biggest charity camp because I haven't been able to find a bigger one. Maybe there are out there, but it's basically just bringing a community of campers together. All you've literally got to do is book your site, come along for the weekend and enjoy the ride.
Right. So your money raising that you're doing is not through people paying to be there. It's through raffles and stuff on the day and whatever sponsors you get.
Yeah, so you're paying for the caravan park, of course. They're going to make something out of it as well. We've deliberately picked a weekend that wasn't going to be big for them to give something to them, give something to the Mansfield community because obviously, you're going to be up there, going to spend something around town and that sort of stuff. We'll get you in the high country. We have got, I'm pretty sure I'm putting it out there, I've got Tim Bates on board. He's fixed now because I've just said it. We had a few people ask for him because we're in the high country, so we got to have Tim Bates there, of course. And he's an absolute legend. He's a big supporter of us, and at the end of the day, it's you're paying for the caravan park, and then we'll put some food on the weekend and that sort of stuff. There'll be a lot of details out, but even if you can't do the event, I encourage people to join the Legends for Charity Facebook group, which we can put down in the description later. And just, if you love camping, and especially for, and that's a big part of what my channel is about, it's getting people out there and going camping and making friends and meeting new people and that sort of stuff. That's what it's largely about. The charities just kind of became a side thing. Now, I should mention the charities are Mansfield RSL, which is a very small little group, no pokies and that sort of stuff. And, they've got a rundown building that they're trying to clean up. And then we've got Starting Over Dog Rescue, which is a Victorian rescue service for dogs. Again, another small charity. So, we're not asking for big dollars. You're not going to walk away $5,000, unless you want to, but $5,000 poorer. It's really just about, getting people together. That's largely what it's about. It's just building a community of campers, people that are just, want to do camping, haven't got a lot of mates out there camping. I mean, that's how I was. I didn't have a lot of friends, and most of my friends growing up never camped. I never camped growing up until I met my wife 20, 30 years ago. And I dreamt about it as a kid. I used to go down to park, find a bit of bush somewhere and, make my old little shelters and that sort of stuff, and play Tarzan, and and live the wildlife until I grew up. Then I could buy all the toys and experience it for myself. But then I get involved in forward drive clubs and other clubs and stuff to meet like-minded people, and that's essentially what we're doing. Is just giving people an outlet, come down, meet a few others, and they'll be camping for the rest of their lives. That's what we want to get people out there doing. Campers are generally good people. If we can get everybody, and I'm a strong believer that if we can get everybody out in the bush, it'll be a much better world. They'll have a much more appreciation for nature. They'll, they're not going to be so grumpy all the time. There's just so many benefits of getting out and doing this whole camping thing.
There is. So very good.
That's largely what it's about.
So is the thing with wigs, is that like a mandatory thing or what?
No. Right. That was the Sunday night party. So, we've got a video and we've got the Legends for Charity YouTube channel as well. So we've got a couple of videos out there of the last event, and I think a couple of others have put them out there as well. That's the Sunday night party. I want to do the theme I want to do is what do they call it? Kings and Queens. So basically like a dress up. That I think last year what they did is it was just a bit of a disco theme kind of thing. Whereas
is that you and Ed, the king and the queen? You and Ed,
as in drag
You're
queen
the king and
drag king. So maybe we can do a bit of a talent show or something like that, and
right.
We're still kind of planning all this, a lot of the activities and stuff. But we know Sunday night it's like the breakup, of the event. The last hoo-ha. A lot of people end up going on Sunday, but those who do stay, we just end up having you can let our hair down. There's no more planning and organising. The event's over. We can just party on. And the plan is, I'm just looking at the comments there, whether again, Carol, I think I've spoken to them about it, doing like a drag king, drag queen. You dress up whoever you want on the night. If that involves wigs and masks and fancy outfits, and
I can see Matt's going to come with like this big like dome hat with a red band and a shotgun.
What do you mean, Matt? Campers, what's wrong with Victorians and New South Wales? They have a great record. Ivan Balad. Don't hear about good people. Have you heard of Nas Time Adventures, Matt? He's a great bloke. They're the real campers.
What are your thoughts on all the Well, thank you for telling us about this anyways. I'll put a link there in the description here for the Facebook group. So head over there and get more information. By the look of it, though, most people who are watching this probably already know about it anyway.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it in. I'll throw it in a few videos as well, mate. Might help you out a little bit.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be great.
What are your thoughts on all the YouTubers that do their $200K? Wait, $200,000? Is that a dollar giveaways?
I haven't seen those ones. The only one I know is what's that? Mr. Beast, or is it Mr. Beast? Shows how old I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does like $1 million giveaways and stuff, but
he's he earns a few $1 million per video, mate.
He gives 10% of it away, and Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, the Squid Game video that he did earned him like $400 million.
Yeah,
it was crazy, and he actually made bugger all out of it because the set cost him so much. Yeah. I listened to a YouTuber create a podcast, and you hear that sort of thing on there. But is this I'm not sure if Dylan's still here. Are you talking about like Australian YouTubers doing that, like four-wheel driving camping sort of channels? I haven't heard of that.
No, definitely none of my mates on YouTube are giving away $200,000. I can tell you that now.
Yeah. I don't know enough about that to answer that. Very good. Where can people find you, Nas?
For myself, Nas Time Adventures. I've been going for about 4 or 5 years. Me and Ed started together, and that's how we became really good mates. And I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. Potentially, like I have been discussing a podcast coming up. I won't go into that too much, but that's kind of one of my next projects is get a podcast off the ground. And that's largely for me because I started this channel it's all about me time. It's all about trying to get people out enjoying the great outdoors, motivating, inspiring people to the great outdoors. So like I said, it makes better people. And my channel's become more of a over the years, less on the trips and more on the gear reviews and stuff, which is fine, and that's working, and that's again educating people to get out there. But I want to do this podcast that's more focused on again the core message. It's basically transition yourself and building a better person by going out camping. Get yourself some me time.
Yep.
Refreshing the brain and getting rid of all the anxiety and all that. Like I myself suffer quite a bit with anxiety and depression, and you find most people that suffer anxiety and depression, you wouldn't pick it because they're generally the chirpiest people. And but on camera, put them aside, and I don't want to say that I'm always crying when I'm by myself. I actually enjoy being by myself, but
that's why I solo camp, mate. So I can cry myself to sleep every night.
Look, and I like a little bit of both. I definitely love my solo camping. I haven't done enough of it for a little while, but my message basically is I want people to, whether you're solo camping, whether you feel more comfortable with other friends and mates and that sort of stuff, that's really what my message is all about, is trying to get people out there. I'd go nuts. I would seriously go nuts if I couldn't camp and if I couldn't get out in the bush every now and then. Even the desert, I just... everyone's got their vice. Like, my wife loves the ocean. She loves the beach, whereas I like the beach. I don't have a problem with the beach, but I'm more of a mountain man. But in recent years, I've discovered the desert, and it's like, mate, why would you want to go out in the desert? There's nothing out there. Well, guess what, mate? Nothing is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I've been for sure and not seen a person, for 2 weeks, and
it's not bad.
How good was that?
Oh, mate, most of my days, honestly, I see one person besides myself.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. We might see the neighbour, but they're like a kilometre away that way and a kilometre away that way. It's great. Apparently, Explore Life did one at 200,000. And TJ Mac. Explore Life is a massive business. It's a huge business. You haven't got to. I used to watch his stuff. Well, it's not really him anymore. It's like there. I used to watch their stuff before I bought the 76 because he had a 76 at the time.
Yeah.
And I've watched that channel do what it's doing, and I go, for me, I just think of it like you are no longer relatable because you're spending $300,000 on a freaking car and a fit out of the car. It's not achievable by everybody. And don't get me wrong, it's very cool, and we'd all like to be able to do it, but the fact of the matter is most of us can't. And it's more like just a production now than a relatable thing, I guess. But they're a massive business, so that wouldn't. And the other one I saw there, TJ and Mac are freaking awesome. I think they're funny as. But the Explore Life guys, that's a massive business. There would be huge amounts of sponsorship and stuff to raise that $200,000. I don't doubt for a second that's from sponsors and their merch sales.
Yeah,
it'd be going off. Yeah, yes. All right, time to get out of here, mate.
You all good?
All good. Thanks for coming on, mate. It's been a good chat.
Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed that. And I know we waffled on a little bit about some different stuff. We probably didn't cover any of the questions or stuff that you had, but
I have a list of questions that I have every time, and we answered all of them. They were just organic.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay. It's all good. Remote touring is
thank
good
you
for the
very
soul.
much, Shane. Absolutely love your stuff, mate. Been a big fan of.
Thanks, mate.
Like I said, you present really well. You're very honest. You're very down to earth. You're very relatable, and I think that's that's 99% of what I watch on. I pretty much only watch YouTube. I don't watch a lot of commercial television at all, and I like to watch real people and see what's going on in the real world.
Yeah. Oh wait, what? How many subs you got? I meant to raise this with you before now.
Oh, you're beating me.
I think I passed you today or yesterday.
Yeah, you're. When I looked at you're like 7K. Like I'm growing slowly. You're growing a lot quicker, I reckon.
You've got more than 7K.
Just over. What's 718 or something like that? What? How many you get in a month though?
I'm not sure. Please hold. Because
I've been going for a few years. I've been going a lot longer than you. Yeah.
547 a month.
Yeah, see, I'm only getting at the moment. I've got dropped down about 200 on a month. So
yeah,
I've had. It's funny. I still cannot work out the algorithm of YouTube, and so it's all up to the algorithm. Just give people what they want, and I strive to do exactly that. And then I've had videos. Like I had one video, that one that I mentioned about the camping setups. It did like 7,500 views in a week. And now I'm getting like 100 a week, 10 a day or 20 a day. How does it go from that to, I've had other videos where I've done 2,000-3,000. You pick up a heap of subs and stuff. I did a bit of promotion at one stage where I was promoting, Maxline, a couple of other brands and stuff, and I had a couple of competitions and that sort of stuff. So that was a good little build up for me on subs. But it's the hardest thing to grow, mate. And it's
I watch my other channel, right? So I think I got like 96 or something thousand there, and I just got to fix the link I put in there for your bloody page because it doesn't work apparently. And I go out and do like a cracker video on that channel. I did one like it went live like 3 or 4 days ago. It's had like 2,000 views. It's like, what the hell? The hell is going on with this damn thing?
Yeah.
But I do a video on this channel. What's that machete one at now? It's, I don't know. It's
that'd be doing all right.
34,000, and it was that they went live at the same time.
Yeah.
Go figure. It's crazy. Anyway, I don't know, mate. I don't know what the answer is.
This has been accidents. I've spent hours and hours and hours on some of my videos and got nothing. And then I pull up another video that I'm like, you know what? I've got nothing this week. I'll slap this together and it just goes nuts.
Yep.
So I can't pick it.
Yep. You can't pick it, mate.
I still haven't worked out the secret.
No. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you in 5 weeks because we've got a public holiday between now and then. Cheers, guys.
Beautiful.
See you later.
Thanks, guys.